Hey everyone, I'm Matt with Ozark Overland Adventures, and what we have here is the brand new EcoFlow River 2 Pro, and it is currently running just about everything you might want to have at camp. Got the 45-liter fridge running off of it, charging my drone batteries. I've got a heated blanket currently on high, charging my headlamp, running a hair dryer on low, charging GoPro batteries, camera batteries, USB fan. Need to add my watch to that mix because I need to charge my watch, and I also need to charge my phone. This thing is currently putting in some work. It is doing 853 watts, and it's doing great. With every generation of power station, they just seem to keep getting better and better and better. Just over 2 years ago, I reviewed the original River Pro, and it was a solid power station. It had its flaws, but this new River 2 version is crazy impressive. I just genuinely like it. It's not perfect, and I'll get into that in just a minute. But, I mean, for the size of this thing, it packs a crazy punch in here. It is a 768 watt-hour power station. And, you know, when I'm thinking of grabbing a power station for a weekend trip, keeping all of my, camp things running and charged, all my batteries for my cameras, all my lights charged, maybe running some higher wattage things like a hair dryer. If my wife wants to wash her hair while we're there, that sort of thing, or, a diesel heater. The 700-ish watt-hour range, I think, is really the sweet spot between, having enough to get you through, having enough performance to do what you need to do, but not be so big and bulky like the 1,000, 1,200, 1,800 watt-hour power stations that are just, for that type of trip, really overkill. So really impressed with this one. 768 watt-hours, 800 watts of inverter power here, and with EcoFlow's X-Boost technology, claims it can run up to 1,600 watts. But it does that, I'll get into that in a minute. I'm not super just impressed with the whole X-Boost technology. Several companies are doing that now. But just a raw 800 watts of output power, I mean, you saw what it was doing here. It was actually running a little over that just fine. So really impressed by that. I am very happy that EcoFlow has moved to the lithium iron phosphate battery chemistry for their power station. So this one has a lifespan of 3,000 cycles, which they claim is, 10 years worth of use, which is, with the average person, probably pretty accurate, if not underrating that. And EcoFlow is now up there with the leaders as far as warranty goes. 3,000 cycles, so they say 10 years worth of life, 5-year warranty on this thing. So, if you're going to spend your money somewhere, long life, a warranty that backs it up, I mean, that's what you want to do. EcoFlow, I really pioneered the quick charging power stations, and this one is no slouch. This thing can accept 900 watts of input on AC power, which means you can charge this from dead zero to 100% in just over an hour, 70 minutes to go from 0 to 100% with this thing, which is crazy impressive. It can accept 200 watts of solar, which is pretty much on par with what I would expect for a power station like this. So, with the good 200 watt solar panel, getting the max amount of sunshine out of it, you're going to be 4-5 hours to go from dead to 100% on this with solar. And it can also accept 100 watts of input from a car charger or even the 100 watt USB-C port there. So it has 4 different ways of charging. And no, you cannot combine charging methods. Everyone is single point of charge only, and it will flip to whichever one is giving it the most power. So, some power stations you can dual charge with solar and USB-C, or dual charge with solar and AC. This one, just one at a time on the EcoFlow, which, I mean, for the size of this thing, that's no problem. The River 2 Pro is a very lightweight 17.2 pounds. I do very much love this form factor. It is quite boxy. and flat on top. So putting this, stacking this in your vehicle, putting things on top of it, very nice. At first I wasn't sure about this handle, but I like the way it's designed, and it does stick out just a little bit. So your AC cord here, it has this as kind of a buffer to protect that and protect your DC input. So you're not going to be breaking anything off, squishing this in the back of your vehicle, because this serves as a buffer. And actually, very intuitive design choice there. The screen for the EcoFlow, it's a good screen. EcoFlow has always had good screens. It tells you exactly what you need. It gives you little icons for what's currently on and off. You can hear the fan right now. I don't know why the fan's on, but you can hear the fan, and it shows a little icon that the fan's going. It tells you how much battery percentage is left. Gives you a little dial. It tells you the inputs and the outputs, and how much time is left. EcoFlows have always had good screens. This one is no exception. It tells you exactly what you need. So, yay for that. Another great feature this has is it can be used as an uninterruptible power supply. So if, just like a UPS that you'd have at home with your computer or any other electronics that need to keep running if the power goes out, keep this plugged into the wall, keep your computer or maybe a CPAP machine or whatever plugged into this. If the power goes out, they claim 30 milliseconds. I've actually seen some other tests that did as fast as 15 milliseconds. This will flip over, go from the pass-through AC, start using the battery power in here, and it's a pretty sweet little UPS device, for around the house for emergencies and power outages and that sort of thing. So that's a pretty sweet feature. This does also have pass-through charging, so you can be using it, if you're at camp, got solar hooked up to it to keep it topped off, you can be using this while you're charging it. So set it up at camp, solar's going into it, keep the fridge plugged in, keep your USB powered devices, charging things. All of that can be using the power station while power is coming into it. So I mean, that's what you want. Never buy a power station without pass-through charging. Now, I've shown EcoFlow's app in a couple other videos that I've done. As far as apps go, EcoFlow probably has the best one in the business. Right now I'm connected to it with Bluetooth. You can also do it with Wi-Fi, which I think may allow you to really control this remotely. But I mean, when we're out off-grid, camping, overlanding, all that sort of stuff, we're not gonna have Wi-Fi. So Bluetooth it is, and it's just a very simple, very clean app that tells you how much battery's left, shows inputs and outputs, what power's coming in, what power's going out, how much time you've got left, and then in the settings you can change a whole bunch of stuff. AC charging speed, if you don't want 900 plus watts of power coming into this, you want to charge it slower for whatever reason. Maybe you've got an inverter in your vehicle that only outputs 400 watts. Well, you can dumb this down to just accept maybe 350 watts just to play it safe, and still charge this much faster than going through the DC car output. And you can even change the amp hours, the amp rating on your car input there. You can turn the X boost on and off. I would probably leave it off. I'll demonstrate here in just a minute how the X boost thing works. You can even change your discharge and charge level. So maybe you don't want to charge this to 100%. I don't know why you wouldn't, but you can do that. Timeout. I've seen a lot of people get frustrated with maybe they're running a fridge and it's in a colder environment, so the fridge isn't cycling on and off very much. So the power station doesn't see any current being used from it, and so it'll shut itself down because it thinks it's not being used. Well, you can turn that on and off in the app here. You can update your firmware and all the necessary things. Really, really love their app. Love the fact that it has an app that you can control those things with. That's super handy. Let's demonstrate the X Boost thing and how it works, kind of what it's for. So standard output on this is 800 watts. Let me turn the X Boost off in the app. There we go. The X Boost is currently off. And the hair dryer we know will work fan on low, heat on high. There it goes. So this is currently pulling 713 watts. So, you know, if someone needs to dry their hair at camp, on low and high heat, this is going to work. You can go down to warm and go up to high fan. Oh, I lied. That took over 1,000 watts. So that's how X Boost, this without the X Boost turned on, the hair dryer, used more power than the power station could put out. So it tripped the breaker inside and did what it's supposed to do, protected itself. Let's turn the AC back on, and now let's turn X Boost on. So X Boost is now on. We will go hot and low, right where we were. So now we're going to jump up to high fan, high heat, which is going to use the most power from this thing. And I mean, you would expect it to really rev up. It gets a little better, but you can tell the hair dryer is not pumping out as much as it could. And this is limiting it to 868 watts. And it does this by lowering the voltage so it can increase the amps. And that's why the hair dryer is running on high, but it's not running at its full potential. And that's great if you've got something like a hair dryer, maybe a coffee pot. Maybe your coffee pot is just slightly more powerful than this can accept. Well, with the X Boost, it will allow the coffee pot to run, but it's not going to be as hot and as quick as it might otherwise be. You don't want to use X Boost with any kind of electronics that are sensitive to voltage. So, definitely, an amplifier. I don't even know what kind of things this is. Any type of major electronics that is sensitive to voltage, you don't want to use X Boost with that. So, unless you need X Boost, I would say keep it turned off because I can't think of many situations where the X Boost is really gonna get you out of a jam or really gonna do something that just setting your normal thing on a lower power isn't gonna accomplish the same thing. Now, in the box with the EcoFlow River 2 Pro, you get the AC charging cable. And what I do love about these quick charging power stations, and more are going to this form factor, is you don't have the big annoying brick that a lot of, especially older power stations had. You just get a cord. All the inverter and brick stuff is in here. So all you got to deal with is this. And if you happen to lose this, it's just a standard computer power cord. So yay for that. You also get a little 5mm to 5mm adapter plug. I'm not sure what you'd use that for. And you also get the XT60 to 12 volt output for your car, and both of those plug in right here in the back. That goes there, and then the AC power goes there. You may notice that something is missing here, and that's one of my gripes about the River 2 Pro, is that they don't give you the solar panel connector. There's some solar panels that you can get that just go straight XT60, which that's fantastic. Most solar panels are going to have MC4 connectors, and so instead they give you DIY instructions for how to wire up a solar cable to use. So you buy an XT60 connector off Amazon, buy some MC4 connectors, and connect those together. So they don't give you the cord, they give you DIY instructions for how to do the cord. Why? Just come on. Just give me the cord. I mean, you didn't give me instructions for, how to wire up this to this. So come on. I mean, help. We buy these to use solar off of. So give me the solar connector. Don't give me instructions on how to DIY it. Come on, EcoFlow. You can do better than that. I'm sure you can just go on Amazon and buy, you know, an XT60 to MC4 adapter, but it should be included. That's ridiculous. And you get an owner's manual, and you get a quick start guide, and all the important things are in here. So that's what you get. Now, another issue that I have with really all of the power stations that have the quick charging feature is that they require a pure sine output for this to work. So my Gladiator has a 400 watt inverter inside. It comes from the factory that way. So I, in the app, turn the input power down to 350, plug this into the Gladiator to see if I could charge this from the AC outlet in there. No, I cannot, because the inverter in my Gladiator is a modified sine wave inverter, and this won't accept it. You just hear this click, click, click. It's trying to, but it doesn't like the power that's coming out of the inverter in the Gladiator, so it won't work. Now, luckily, I have a whole bunch of power in the back of my Gladiator and a 2,000 watt pure sine inverter back there, and so with that, yes, I can just rip through this thing, charge it at its full potential. So if I'm at camp and need this, then I can charge it real quickly from the back of my Gladiator, and that's awesome. I wish I could use the inverter in my Gladiator, because my ideal situation would be to have this plugged into the Gladiator, charging at 300 watts, and then have all of my electronics and batteries and everything that I need to charge and run off of this inside my Gladiator, because I don't have a lot of USB ports and stuff in my Gladiator. So when I'm on longer trips, I take a power station with me to to keep all my camera batteries and stuff charged. So I wish I could do that. Instead, my setup is to just use this. When I'm out on my trips, I'm driving most of the day. The fact that this only inputs 100 watts into the River 2 Pro, that's okay, because I'm usually driving long enough that if this were dead, I could plug this in, and in a long day of driving, I can have this recharged. Or I can get to camp and plug this into the Beast inverter in the back of my Gladiator and have it charged really quick. But with the pass-through charging, I can have this connected to the 12 volt inside my Gladiator, have all my camera batteries and stuff connected to it, and they're taking charge when they need it. This is recharging as it needs to, and it works. It works just fine. You're just not gonna get super fast charging that way. And for my purpose, that's okay. And for most people's purpose, that's gonna be okay. I understand it's probably more of a frustration with my Gladiator not having a pure sine inverter as it is with this, because I understand the needs for this to have that. So really, it's more of a frustration with my Gladiator than this. So now, since most people are going to be buying a power station to keep things charged while at camp and running your 12 volt fridge while you're not moving, the one test that I do with every single power station is I take this, I plug it into our Dometic CFX55IM. It is a 55 liter 12 volt fridge, and there's two 2-liter bottles of water in there just to help regulate temperature, and I plug it in and leave it just to see how long it will run that fridge. This thing did crazy good, 69 hours and 20 minutes. For a 768 watt hour power station. It's the best performing 700-ish watt hour power station that I have ever tested. It beats the Bluetti EB70, which is a 715 watt hour power station. So it's a little bigger than the Bluetti EB70, but beat it by 9 hours. That's crazy impressive. It blew the original River Pro away. That one only did 53 hours. This one's 69 hours. Blew that one away. It even bested the bigger EcoFlow Delta Mini, which I love that power station. And it's a bigger 815 watt hour power station. This one beat it. The Delta Mini ran the Dometic for 63 hours, so six hours longer with this guy than the Delta Mini. So crazy impressive with this thing. I mean, as far as that, 700-800 watt hour power station, this guy's the champ. Another key use for a power station like this that I see people complaining that some power stations can't handle it is with diesel heaters. So a little earlier, I actually took my diesel heater, which is this guy right here, and while the fridge was running off the barrel port, I plugged this into the main 12-volt port right here, just to see if it'd run. I've been seeing a lot of reports on online that some power stations don't put out enough voltage to adequately run a diesel heater, and it will throw a fault code about voltage on the diesel heater. So this ran it no problem. And not only ran this, but ran the fridge at the exact same time off the little 5.5 millimeter barrel plug here. So I was really impressed by that. So can the EcoFlow River 2 Pro run a diesel heater? It can run this one. Now, I told you at the beginning, it's not perfect. I've already shared with you a few cons. One was more of a con with the Gladiator, but the fast charging only works with the pure sine inverter coming from it. The X Boost, it'll work, but it's really kind of gimmicky. The no solar charging cable, that's a huge fail on EcoFlow's part. I don't know why they don't do that, but that's probably my biggest gripe on this thing is the fact that they don't do that. And then I say this with just about every power station that I review. 4 AC ports, fantastic. 112 volt, I was able to do two 12 volts with my adapter running into the barrel plug there. No problem. Why you only give me 4 USB ports? Why? I mean, yay that the USB-C is 100 watts, so I can charge my laptop off that, no problem. So yay for that. Yay that it's two-way, so I can charge with that if need be. But really, only 4 USB ports? This is 2023. Everything, just about everything runs off USB, charges off USB. And using the AC outlets, yeah, I mean, that works. You got your little adapters. I had some plugged in at the beginning. But that wastes power because you have to waste power to run the AC outputs. So it's not as efficient as if you just give me a crap ton of USB ports. Give me 4 USB-As, give me another 3 or 4 USB-Cs, because this is 2023. Why? You got room? Don't give me this. You got room. You could do that. So I don't know why. I gripe about that with every power station. They don't give us enough USB ports. Another thing, I hate the fact that this little nice flat area, it's got a little lip up here, it doesn't do wireless charging. Some EcoFlows do wireless charging. This has a nice flat spot for wireless charging. Well, nothing. So I don't know why they didn't put wireless charging up here. It's just a handy little feature. If you've got this out at camp, just drop your phone on it and start charging. So I don't know why it doesn't have that. I wish it did. It looks like it could, but it doesn't. Now let's talk price, because EcoFlow is definitely one of the premium brands. There's just so many power station companies out now. I get offers from companies literally daily that I have never heard of saying, hey, will you review our power station? I say no. But EcoFlow is definitely one of the well-known premium brands in the power station market. They have a solid reputation. They deserve that reputation. And I was actually shocked. 768 watt hour power station, I expected to be close, if not more, than $700 for this power station. But it's not. On EcoFlow's website right now, no discounts. No, it's just their regular price that I looked this morning, $599 for a 768 watt hour power station. That is 70, I think I'm doing the math right, 78 cents per watt hour. And that is fantastic. I mean, you get below 85 cents a watt hour, you're in the, I mean, that's a bargain. So the fact that EcoFlow is selling this power station for $5.99, that's maybe one of the best values in power stations and quality and technology that may be out there. That's crazy. I was shocked. I really expected it to be more than $5.99. I wouldn't have been shocked if it was $800 because it's that good of a power station. But it's only $600. That's crazy good. Well, as you can see, I am crazy impressed with this thing. It's just such a well thought out, well designed, and very, the price is great on it. So if you're in the market for a power station, maybe you've got an older one, maybe you need a bigger one, maybe you don't have one and you want one, give this one a serious look. For what we do, I think this one hits the sweet spot. I really do. It's great. There is a link to it in the description. If you like the video, give the video a like. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not. We've got a goal of hitting 100,000 subscribers this year, and need your help to do that. If you like the content that we're putting out, you find these reviews helpful, you find our trip videos inspirational, check out our Patreon. Links in the description. Consider supporting the channel. You gain access to special content, special events, all of our GPS data, that sort of stuff. And for Ozark Overland Adventures merchandise, go to shopoverlandapparel.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.